So, The Walking Dead is coming to Magic the Gathering in a secret lair, but not as altars and not as silver bordered. This is causing a huge problem in the community. What is up, Commander players? My name is Matt, and you're watching Top Commander. So, Walking Dead Secret Lair has been announced, and there's a lot of topic discussion about this. A lot of people are really irritated, aggravated, pissed off even, because of what this Secret Lair is. So it's apparently mechanically unique cards with Walking Dead characters on them. And they're only available in the Secret Lair, which is only available for like a couple of days, maybe a week, online. Purchased from Wizards of the Coast. It's not available in your LGS. You can't pick it up at Walmart or Target. And this is the only way to get these cards. A lot of people are pissed off about this. I'm not going on a huge rant in this video about whether or not I'm okay with this. Certain aspects I am, and certain aspects I'm not. I'm okay with the fact that The Walking Dead came into Magic, but not in this way. It's more like when they did the Godzilla altered arts for Ikoria, that was okay. I was okay with that, because you had the actual card and then you had an altered art version that is a Godzilla card. This would have been okay if that was what they did with Walking Dead, but no, we have official Negan as a legendary creature in Magic, not an altered art. So in this video, what I wanted to do was something a little bit more fun and a little bit more light-spirited. I didn't want to go on this huge rant about what this is and what I find wrong with this whole thing, but instead what I think that this should have been. Obviously, there was one of two ways that they could have went about this that would have been way easier, and wouldn't have caused as much of an uproar as it did. One, first and foremost, make it silver bordered. They did it with the My Little Pony crossover Magic cards. They made them silver bordered so they weren't legal for any tournament play. Nobody really had anything to say about it. I had no problem with that. It was also available for a short period of time through, I believe it was some sort of charity. I don't remember exactly. That has been about a year ago. But I ordered the My Little Pony series, and with intention on trying to build a commander deck for my daughter to learn how to play Magic, because she likes My Little Pony. So what better way to introduce her, right? This, of course, being Walking Dead, again, if these were altars, that would have been great. But they made them mechanically unique. So, the second way, of course, that they could have went about this, making them into altars, I felt like it would be a little bit more fun to talk about if these were actually altered cards, what would the altars be? So, taking the uniquely mechanically designed cards from the Secret Lair, because we have seen the cards. I don't know if this is all of them or if it's just the 4 cards. But let's go ahead and start with Daryl, Hunter of Walkers. 2, a red and a green for a 4/4 legendary creature human archer. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent creates 3 walker tokens. Kind of interesting. Tap, Daryl deals 2 damage to target creature. Whenever a zombie an opponent controls dies, draw a card. So, I was looking through for a couple of ways that you can make this work without it being so obvious that you're trying to go for a Walking Dead theme. So what I ended up coming up with was Daryl should have been a altered art version of Kelsian the Plague. Red, a white, and a black for a 2/2 legendary creature human assassin. Has vigilance and haste. Kelsian the Plague gets +1/+1 for each experience counter you have. Tap. Kelsian deals 1 damage to target creature you don't control. When that creature dies this turn, you get an experience counter. So it still stays on theme. Kelsian the Plague is, even in the artwork, he is a archer himself. He has a bow, and he has a pinger effect, which works just the same as Daryl's pinger ability. Yes, you lose the ability to draw cards, but if you're trying to go for altered art versions, this is probably one of the better ways that you could have went about it. Unless they had created what they wanted the Magic versions to be first, and then made those as these Walking Dead alters. But having no official Magic cards other than what's in the secret lair, we're just going off of that. So just have fun with this. This is kind of a neat little thing that I decided to do. Alright, so the next one up was Glenn, Voice of Calm. 1 generic, a white and a blue for a 1/3 legendary creature human advisor. He has Skulk, which this creature cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power. Whenever Glenn deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to his power. Now, I was thinking about this one, and the first thing that came to mind, honestly, was Cold Eye Selkie. Because take away the Skulk and add Island Walk, and you essentially have the same card. But it's not a legendary. So what if you wanted a legendary creature to become an altered art version of Glenn? Glenn was the sneaky pizza driver in the first season of The Walking Dead that was known to be able to kind of run around throughout the city without people noticing him, right? He was able to avoid all the walkers. So what better way than having a ninja? Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow. We should all know this one by now. 1 generic, a blue and a black for a 1/3 legendary creature human ninja. Has Commander Ninjutsu for a blue and a black. Return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand or the command zone, tapped and attacking. So you still have that kind of sneaky factor for it being a ninja, right? And then instead of drawing a card equal to the amount of damage you're doing, Yuriko has its own draw engine as well. So whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. I feel like that would have been really, really amazing. And of course, Yuriko Commander players would have killed to get hold of that altered art, because that would have been hilarious. As long as, of course, they were Walking Dead fans. If they weren't, then of course they're not going to. But again, just something fun and interesting, right? Next up we have Michonne, Ruthless Survivor. 3 generic, a green and a black for a 3/3 human warrior. Whenever Michonne enters battlefield, create 2 walker tokens. As long as Michonne is equipped, she must be blocked if able. Whenever Michonne and at least 2 zombies attack, she gains indestructible until end of turn. Now, this one was interesting. Because Michonne cares about being equipped, and Michonne cares about having other creatures. Now, I couldn't find something that I necessarily liked for Michonne, except for Akiri, Fearless Voyager. 1 a red and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature core warrior. Whenever you attack a player With one or more equipped creatures, draw a card. You can pay a white, and you may unattach an equipment from a creature you control. If you do, tap that creature and it gains indestructible until end of turn. So again, you still have the indestructible factor. You still care about having multiple creatures because a carry draws you more cards based on the number of creatures that are equipped, which also the Michonne card cares about. So again, why was this not thought of? Why could this not have been a thing? You, instead of going through this whole motion of creating mechanically unique cards, instead of keeping to what the Secret Lair was supposed to be, which was altered art versions of existing cards. This is where they messed up. Now, the last one, this one was a little bit more tough for me to figure out, but at the same time, I kind of found something that matched up a little bit. But the last one was Negan the Cold-Blooded. 2 generic, a red, a white, and a black for a 4/3 legendary creature human rogue. When Negan enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each secretly choose a creature that player controls. Then those choices are revealed, and that player sacrifices those creatures. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a creature, you create a treasure token. Okay, so looking at this one, again, from a mechanical standpoint, you care about your opponent's creatures dying. Now, of course, they did it in a weird mini-game way where you and that player each choose something. It's kind of dealing with the cold-bloodedness of Negan from the show, right? And then you care about your opponent's creatures being sacrificed. So, one that I was thinking of, and granted, this is probably not the best pick for what the Negan card should have been for an altered art version, if Negan was an alter. But the one that I found that kind of just clicked and came to mind at the same time was Griswold the Dreadsour. 1 generic, a black and a green for a 3/3 legendary creature troll shaman. He has Trample. At the beginning of your end step, each player creates a 1/1 green plant creature token. Kind of goes against what Negan's about because you're giving your opponent something, but whenever a creature token dies, put a 1/1 counter on Griswold the Dreadsour, and then you can kind of get into this make Griswold bigger and trample over for a lot of damage, and you're still in green and black, so you would build the deck in a way where your opponent sacrifices stuff with Dictative Erebos and Grave Pact, so you can continuously build up his power and be ruthless and trample over and destroy somebody, maybe with commander damage, maybe not, depending on how you build the deck. So this was just a fun idea because tensions are very high about this subject. Before recording this, I've actually been watching everybody else's videos online, hearing everybody's thoughts. Pretty much everybody's saying close to the same thing. I've watched Jumbo Commander, Tolarian Community College, Commander's Quarters, Desolator Magic. There's been a few people making videos on how this Secret Lair is affecting the community and causing an uproar. I, of course, wanted to take this time to try and do something a little bit more light-spirited and not necessarily add to the fire, hopefully. But use this as, if you want to do it the same way, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. What if they were alters, what cards do you feel like these cards would have been? As just a fun, little activity, something to kind of maybe help keep your mind off of the just raw anger and toxicity of this subject. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Did I hit the mark on some of these? Were some of these good picks or not so much? Let me know. But until then, if you want to support this channel, be sure to like, share, and subscribe as always. And if you want to support this channel directly, be sure to visit patreon.com/topcommander. And I look forward to seeing what you guys write, and I will see you guys next video.